Hello and welcome to the news at 5. I'm Dominic Iriwu and these are the stories and reports we're tracking at the moment. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court is sitting in Abuja has ordered that the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and his son Abdulaziz be remanded at the Kuje Correctional Facility in Abuja. Mr. Malami, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is to remain in the facility till January 2nd, 2026, when his written bail application will be argued by his legal team. The oral bail request argued by Mr. Malami's lead counsel, Mr. Joseph Daudu, was turned down by Justice Emeka Nwite on the ground that it would amount to an ambush on the side of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission that preferred charges against the former Attorney General of the Federation.
The courtroom is filled to capacity as lawyers, family members, friends, and associates of Mr. Abubakar Malami, a former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, take their seats to witness his arraignment. Straight to the business of the day, as 16-count charges preferred against Mr. Abubakar Malami, his son Abdulaziz, and his wife, Bashir Asabe, is read. They plead not guilty to the charges. With a plea of not guilty, the defense team, led by Mr. Joseph Daudu, applies for his client to be admitted to bail. But the prosecutor, Mr. Emmanuel Ihanacho, opposed the oral application on the grounds that a written application has been filed, which he is yet to respond to. After listening to the arguments, Justice Emeka Nwite turned down the bail request on the grounds that since a written bail application has been filed and served on the EFCC, the interest of justice will be met if EFCC is allowed to respond to the application as required by law. The trial judge then fixed the 2nd of January 2026 for the hearing of the bail application. A member of the defense team reacts to the ruling of the court as the prosecutor is unavailable for comments.
An oral application for bail was made by the defense, mainly on the ground that the alleged offenses are offenses that are bailable and that the defendants do not in any way constitute a flight risk, and that in the circumstance, the court should exercise its discretion in admitting them to bail. And also fundamentally that under the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, particularly Section 162, does not provide that applications must be in writing.
The former Attorney General of the Federation and the two other defendants are standing trial for alleged money laundering offenses to the tune of over 8 billion naira.
The federal government has dismissed what it described as a fabricated allegation of targeting opposition. The Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, categorically states that it harbors no plans to unlawfully arrest, detain, or prosecute opposition figures. This clarification is in response to a fabricated document in circulation alleging the establishment of a non-existent multi-agency task force for a purported program tagged ADP for VIP. Arrest, detain, prosecute for every important person. The federal government wishes to state emphatically that there is no such program as ADP for VIP, that the administration of President Bola Tinubu is firmly and successfully focused on its core agenda of implementing measurable economic reforms, defeating insecurity, expanding trade opportunities, and restoring investor confidence. It adds that the attempt by some opposition elements to frame lawful accountability as political targeting is a dangerous red herring designed to shield so-called VIPs from answering to our national laws and anti-corruption agencies. Now, days after the fire at the GNI building, the owners of the property expressed their sadness over the recent fire accidents and sent their condolences to the victims and their families affected by the incident. A representative of the family, Dr. Gani Lawal, says they are working with the government and a current forensic investigation is being done to determine the cause of the incident. The family expresses reassurance to all residents and stakeholders that the building was adequately insured.
Shitabe family of Lagos, the owner of Shitabe Court, popularly called GNI building, is deeply saddened by the recent fire incident in our high-rise building at number 4547 Martin Street. Our hearts go out to the victims and their families affected by this tragic incident. We urge everyone to disregard any false narratives or misinformation being spread by the former tenant, caretaker of the building. We also want to reassure all residents and stakeholders that the building was adequately insured. The family is committed to restoring the building and the sacred mosque while assuring a safe return of all residents. I believe the Lagos State government, if going by input-output system or cybernetic system of government, whereby feedback often determine what is the next action of government, I don't believe that this fire should go the way it goes if, lessons learned from previous events had been taken into consideration and necessary steps taken. And I believe government is predicated on the rule of law. If we say that the building is insured and we are ready to, if we are ready to do all that is necessary, if it becomes necessary to put it down, we are ready to do it, although under the guidance and directive of the authorities. And if the forensic investigation reveals that the building can still be salvaged, we'll go ahead and do it. This is not the first time fire will engulf that property. It has been done once in 2013, and then we brought in, engineers to come and do integrity tests for the building. And in fact, that is what led to the reason why we took the property back from GNI.
Now, at least 18 people have been confirmed dead in a tragic multiple vehicle road accident along the Duse-Kwana Babaludu Highway in Jigawa State. The fatal crash involved 3 vehicles and reportedly occurred when a passenger vehicle suffered a tire burst, causing the driver to lose control and collide with an oncoming vehicle. Moments later, a truck rammed into the 2 vehicles, crushing them on impact. Confirming the incident, the sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRC, in Jigawa State, Umar Matazu, said the accident happened suddenly and left little chance for victims to escape. Emergency responders and security personnel were immediately deployed to the scene to rescue survivors and clear the highway for traffic. The injured victims were rushed to nearby hospitals for medical treatment, while the remains of the deceased were evacuated. The FRC sector commander urged motorists to always ensure their vehicles are roadworthy before embarking on any journey and to strictly observe speed limits in order to prevent avoidable road tragedies. The year 2025 is winding down, and while the country continues to grapple with insecurity, the Nigerian Army has pledged to intensify efforts to tackle emerging security threats while strengthening counter-insurgency operations across the country. The Commander, Signals Corps of the Nigerian Army, Major General Mohammed Abdullahi, made the pledge during a special luncheon for frontline troops at the Daban Lema camp in Edo local government area of Kwara State, where he represented the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shuaibu.
The forward operating base of troops from the 22 Armored Brigade of the Nigerian Army is hosting senior army officials and frontline troops for this year's Nigerian Army luncheon. The camp was formerly a base for bandits before they were dislodged from the area by the troops. The commander of the Signals Corps of the Nigerian Army, Major General Mohammed Abdullahi, who is representing the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shuaibu, said the Army remains focused on consolidating the gains recorded in various operational theaters, especially counter-insurgency strategies.
To all personnel serving in various theaters who will not be able to celebrate this Yuletide season with their families, due to the demands of duty, I salute your courage, discipline, and sacrifice. Your unwavering commitment to safeguarding our country's territorial integrity and ensuring the safety of all Nigerians is deeply appreciated. Your absence from home this season is a profound sacrifice for which the Nigerian people remain grateful. Be assured that under my leadership, concerted efforts will be made to foster professionalism and ensure combat readiness of the Nigerian Army.
The Kwara State government commended the military for their efforts and pledged to continue to collaborate with the military to ensure that the state is safe.
Our presence this afternoon shows that civilian authorities stand in full solidarity with our troops, and we do not take lightly the fact that you are here on behalf of every one of us. We are grateful. The original idea was for the Chief of Army Staff to visit and dine with troops in one location. But because the Nigerian military and other security forces are prosecuting many campaigns at the same time, it is impractical for Chief of Army Staff to be everywhere at the same time.
The leadership of the Nigerian Army is assuring the troops of response to their needs to ensure that the operation is sustained.
Now in Kaduna State, the state government is strengthening its position as one of the country's leading investment destinations following sustained reforms aimed at improving the ease of doing business. From faster business registration to improved infrastructure and digital governance, the state's commitment to transparency and accountability has earned its recognition as #2 in national ease of doing business. Government says it is committed to creating a business-friendly environment.
Kaduna State's rise to second place in Nigeria's ease of doing business ranking did not happen by chance. This is a result of continued reforms being rolled out by the Governor Obasani administration designed to remove bureaucratic bottlenecks and attract both local and foreign investments. According to the Commissioner of Business Innovation and Technology, Patience Fakai, the state government used bold reforms to simplify business registration processes, reduce approval timelines, and strengthen the one-stop investment center to support entrepreneurs.
We have digital connectivity, we have land matters. Those are basically some of the indicators that I use taxation to measure the performance of each state. And in Kaduna State, we have been able to have our digital connectivity has been done properly. Our infrastructure, land matters, you can actually, when it comes to land matters, when you come into the state, assessing or getting access to land is straightforward. Everything is connected digitally. So within a day, all this can be done.
A lot of these were made possible through the establishment of the Kaduna Investment Promotion Agency, which helped to cut down delays and corruption.
With the new reforms of the tax reform that is coming on board by His Excellency Mr. President, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, we're sure that by next year, our IGR will still go up. And looking at what Kaduna State has achieved previously, our IGR was about 62 billion. And within this year, we've been able to reach 71 billion. So this reform has actually pushed our IGR forward. And we know with the subsequent tax reforms, next year our IGR will definitely go up.
In addition, the State Geographic Information Service has further improved land administration by digitizing land records, making it easier for investors to acquire titles and secure property for business.
As rightly the Honorable Commissioner mentioned, ease of doing business, the basic thing for it is for us to see how we can reduce time, cost, and procedure for doing business in the state. So with the new ranking, Kaduna being #2, it has improved tremendously the perception of investors. So investors, they talk to themselves. So when they come to Kaduna and they see a favorable environment, it makes them want to invest more and reinvest and call on their own friends and investors in their own network to come and invest in Kaduna. So with this ranking, It has improved tremendously the perception of investors on how businesses are conducted in Kaduna. So, with the able leadership of His Excellency, we don't intend to stay at number 2. By 2027 ranking, we intend to be number 1 by the grace of God. So all measures are being put in place to make sure that we sustain the ranking and we go forward.
The Kaduna State government believes that by improving the ease of doing business, it's not just about attracting investors, but about creating sustainable economic growth that will in turn increase its revenue profile.
You're watching the news at 5 live on Channels Television. Still ahead, the federal government airlifts 500 intending pilgrims to Israel and Jordan. That's when we'll come back. Stay with us.
It's a fast beat, unpredictable and full of surprises. The unforgettable moments, unprecedented passion, the victories and defeats in the world of sports makes it engaging. Fasten your seatbelts as we take you through every update in the news and on our shows. We define the moments of true sports. Join us.
In every show, we bring you closer to the fastest growing movie industry in the world. From the making to the premiere. Get up close and personal with the stars and industry captains, plus reviews and much more. Nollywood Uncut, every week at these times.
Welcome back. Small and medium enterprises in Kano are faced with numerous challenges that hinder their growth and sustainability. Despite their role as major contributors to Nigeria's gross domestic product, yet their survival is being threatened by multiple factors. In this special report, our correspondent Abubakar Salihu examines the challenges militating against the development of these key drivers of Nigeria's economy.
Kano State has a significant number of small and medium enterprises with approximately 2,441 SMEs, employing around 149,153 people. The state is actually one of the top hubs for micro, small and medium enterprises in the country, driven by its large dynamic market, infrastructure, and business ecosystems. Kano is also home to various industries including textiles, food processing, and construction materials. Kano's fertile land and favorable climate also make it an ideal location for agricultural SMEs, focusing on crops like maize, millet, and cowpeas. However, unstable power supply, poor road networks, unregulated competition, and limited technology access hamper productivity and efficiency, leading to increased cost and operational challenges.
Interconnected and indeed responsible for most of the other challenges faced by our members, especially local producers of in Nigerian products across SMEs, industries, industrial clusters. Is power.
The Dakata Small-Scale Industrial Cluster in Kano is one of the largest and most active hubs for light manufacturing and recycling in northern Nigeria. It is located in Kano metropolis. Some of the businesses in the market lament the impact of these challenges.
Since after Ramadan fasting, the power supply has dropped drastically. Our businesses are affected. The electricity supply does not exceed 2 hours daily. Government should come to the aid of our businesses.
The challenges highlight the need for government support, infrastructure development, and skill enhancement programs to promote the growth of small businesses in the state.
Approval for them to be connected, put Dakata, small-scale area also to be connected, and we are working on Sharada as well. So these are the two major small-scale industrial estates that we have in the state. So I think, and also we are in discussion with some companies that will give electricity supply at a cheaper rate. And even last week, I arranged a meeting between this company, I think a Ukrainian company.
Besides the state government's effort to dedicate the 18 megawatts of power generated from its hydroelectric project, the franchise in charge of electricity supply in Kano, Jigawa, and Kaduna State, KEDCO, gives assurances of improved power supply.
We had issues with some of our injection substations that needed upgrade. Our core investor, Future Energies, have really invested in KEDCO in ensuring that our various customers across our franchise area get quality supply. And in doing that, of course, we have inherited, an old network. There is need for improvement, and that is what we decided to do.
Economists believe that a viable SME sector will not only create more job opportunities, but also eradicate poverty and move Nigeria's economy forward. Abubakar Salihu, Channels Television News.
The Nigerian Christian Pilgrimage Commission, NCPC, has airlifted 500 intending pilgrims to Israel and Jordan. Speaking during a short ceremony to flag off the 2025 main pilgrimage exercise at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Bishop Stephen Adegbite, urged the intending pilgrims to optimize the opportunity and be ambassadors of Christ. Furthermore, he stated that all debts owed when he assumed office have been cleared and expressed gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for the support and for being able to airlift the highest number of intending pilgrims in one batch.
When we started, there was nothing. We would have been happier if it's only there is nothing. But we have a huge debt that we must pay back. And nobody wants to associate with NCPC at that time that we came 2 years ago, not up to 2 years. By February, it will be 2 years. But we picked the challenge. We waited upon God according to Isaiah, and the Lord renewed our strength. And today we are bold to say we have overcome all the challenges. As of today, we are not owing anybody $1. And that is why our air carrier is also happy to be with us and seated comfortably. That we are going with the biggest aircraft that has ever come to Nigeria, with 525 seating capacity. This would not have been possible without the support of the federal government and the air carrier. So on this note, once again, I am grateful to Mr. President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, for the opportunity given to us to serve our great nation at this time. I want to also reiterate that pilgrimage is not a jamboree, but a spiritual journey of faith. I urge every intending pilgrims to have high expectation for divine encounters with the Lord while on this pilgrimage.
On business news, Nigeria's economy is expected to expand by 4.49% next year on the back of sustained gains from ongoing reforms, stronger private sector investments, and improved macroeconomic stability, and this is according to the central bank. The CBN made this known in its 2026 macroeconomic outlook for Nigeria, noting that the projected growth compares with an estimated 3.89% expansion this year. The Apex Bank explains that growth prospects for 2026 remain positive, supported by continued gains from broad-based structural reforms by the government. The CBN noted that its easing monetary policy stance is expected to further support economic expansion as anticipated reductions in lending rates lower borrowing costs and improve access to credit for businesses and households. Foreign direct investment into Nigeria rose sharply by 700% quarter-on-quarter to $720 million in Q3 2025, up from $90 million recorded in the same period last year. According to the central bank's latest balance of payments highlights for the period, FDI inflows were also higher by 26.3% year-on-year than the 570 million naira posted in Q3 2024. The report shows that direct investment liabilities, which capture FDI inflows into the economy, climbed by $0.72 billion within the period, making it the strongest FDI quarter so far this year. Nigeria has faced structurally weak FDI inflows in recent years due to currency instability, policy uncertainty, infrastructure constraints, and security concerns. And that's it on the news at 5. I'm Dominic Iwiwo. Up next is The World Today.